In this video, we're experimenting with employee object cloning, but first let's add a PayCheck class to the project, and the employee will have a reference to it. Okay, so I will new Java class, name it PayCheck. Okay, so for now it's just an empty class like this. Show it side by side, and the employee will have new data member named PayCheck, and I'll just simply set it to null to begin with. And we will go ahead and insert the getters and setters. All right, so let's say getters and setters for this, and just generate them by inserting the code, both getters and setters for PayCheck. Okay, so now we have new data member in this employee class, and it's a reference to the PayCheck. So the PayCheck also needs some data attributes right here, which I'm thinking will be a check number, the pay amount, the check amount, and also reference to the employee for who the check was issued. So let's go ahead and add the constructor to this class. Okay, something like this. So we have a constructor for PayCheck, so it will take employee and the amount for the check, and we're going to store this as employee reference and the pay amount. But to generate the actual check number, what I'd like to do, typically in a payroll system, you would have a batch of checks generated, and the batch would have the first check number, and then for each next check we just increment the number. So I need these two variables named batch number and batch next. So every time we create new PayCheck, we're going to increment the batch next, and I will have these added as static data attributes to this class, and that's why I just keep a note to myself that this is not thread safe, because what I'm incrementing here is a static variable, which in a multi-threaded application may have to be an operation which has to be synchronized between multiple threads. We want to prevent from any kind of updates to this variable on multiple parallel threads of execution. So here I'm just adding this comment to make sure that it's clear that this is not thread safe. Okay, so I'm adding these two here as static data attributes. There will be two integers, the batch number and also the batch next. I immediately initialize the next equals 0, so the next time we create our first check, the batch next is incremented, so our first check number will be 1, then 2, 3, 4, and so forth. And both of these integers are private, so for now the batch next is managed internally within this class. However, for the batch number, I need static method set batch number to set the batch number whenever it's needed. For the rest of the PayCheck implementation, I'm just going to generate getters and setters. So I'll just copy my comment from here for getters and setters. Okay, just like this, and generate them right here. So once again, insert code, getters and setters, and I'm going to need this for pay amount, employee, and the check number. Okay, so these are my getters and setters. So this is the entire implementation of the PayCheck class.